Grace and peace, everybody. You did not see a thumbnail nor a title. This was a pop-up surprise live stream. I just got done working out, and shout out to a subscriber named Goose who sent me this video of Charlie Kirk and Erika Kirk on their anniversary last year. I have to admit, I had not watched this before. I've seen it floating about, but I never actually watched it. This video right here, ladies and gentlemen, is powerful. I now understand why Candace Owens hates Erika Kirk, and it's going to be displayed to you in 4K. Let me bring this video in. It is Erika Kirk and Charlie Kirk on the Charlie Kirk show last year answering questions from the audience. I'm sorry. There's no way in the world you can't get that these people cared deeply about one another. They cared deeply about their families. They cared deeply about the Lord and wanted to see Christ made much of here in the earth. You can't miss that. You can't miss that. So all of this other foolery that has been coming up about Erika really comes from a place of people being outright jealous, dare I say, rabid about the fact that they don't have this type of relationship with the Lord. They don't have this type of relationship with their husband or spouse. It's very clear. I know exactly why Candace hates Erika Kirk now. I know exactly why. This is what, but I also can see what Candace probably saw in Charlie and what she wanted in Charlie, because she doesn't have this with George. That's a given fact. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and let's get at it.
Episode for you today. My wife joins us, Erika Kirk,
Hi,
the beautiful,
everyone.
legendary Erika.
I love you so much.
I love you.
You're my best friend.
Welcome to the Charlie Kirk Show.
Thanks, babe. I'm stoked.
So
It's good to be back. It's been a while.
We have asked the audience for questions.
Yes, they came up with some great ones.
Well, there were some not so great ones too that Daisy had too. There were some X-rated ones too.
Oh,
weren't there, Daisy?
Oh.
The X-rated question.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, not good. Not radio appropriate.
got
Not
it.
appropriate for anybody. It was, I don't know. All right, so
There's gonna be people.
we are taking your questions, and hopefully we'll be able to answer any thoughts that you have.
Great. Do you want to take you choose the first one? I'll pepper in the next one.
All right.
There's
One
a
of the
few
problems
them.
I see right off the bat, is nobody watched this full video. They watched that segment where she says, "I love you, babe," and they try to make it and read into it. But in context, it makes perfect sense. She just said she loves her husband. She just is in love with her husband. And the problem is most of these women are not loved by their husbands, or they don't love their husbands. That's the problem. And that's it. And I can't wait to get to this wedding date one, because this is the one that a lot of hay was made about. They stumbled over the wedding date. Watch this.
Well, this one's easy. How long have you been married, and when did you know it was time to get married?
We've been married since 2021.
Mm-hmm.
Engaged 2020.
So it'll be 4 years.
4 years. We laugh about this.
That's crazy. She looked at Charlie and she didn't know exactly how long they'd been married. Oh, scandal. Scandal. Man, let me tell y'all something. Lady Dear Woke Christian used to have an anniversary for everything. The anniversary when we met, anniversary of our first date, anniversary of when I proposed, anniversary of when we actually got married, anniversary of when we thought we were going to get married, but we moved the wedding up, all this kind of stuff like that. And guess what she wanted? She wanted your boy to remember all these dates. And it didn't always work like that. So can you imagine holding somebody responsible and say, oh, there's something weird about their marriage because she didn't know the exact date? It's clear that Charlie was the numbers person. It's very clear from this video that Charlie was the one, kind of like my wife, that would have those dates locked down in their heads, right? And also, birth dates and grandparents' anniversaries and my mom and dad's anniversaries, and of course our own children. My wife has all those numbers running around in her head at any given moment. You could ask her, she's going to tell you she'll tell you the exact date and how old the person is without even batting an eye. I would be just like Erika, like, I don't know. When do we get married, babe? So I think this is funny, but finish up.
It's because our dates are so messed up because of babies, meaning there's so many dates to remember.
Mm-hmm. I know. I get all the anniversaries,
kids' birth
May
dates.
14th,
yeah,
August
all the
23rd.
Things. How did we? So we've been married for.
How did you know it was time to get married? I mean,
almost 4 years in
I
May.
Proposed and she said yes.
How did we know? You just know.
It's also what,
You just
don't
know.
waste your time, right?
Don't waste your time. And plus, we were ready to start our life together.
That's right. Okay.
That was an easy one.
That's easy. You pick one.
Who is more conservative and why?
Erika,
Yes.
by far. Not even close. I am a moderate compared to Erika.
Andrew always jokes that once you got married to me, you got more based.
That's true. That is true. No, Erika is very conservative. And yeah,
I was raised well.
Yes, you have a great mom.
I'm a great mom.
Great parents.
My grandparents were amazing.
Fiercely right wing.
Yes. My grandfather was an immigrant from Sweden and fought in World War II and the Korean War. Yeah. And he got the Silver Star, the Bronze Star, and knighted by the King of Sweden. And he was always super far right.
Do you think having kids made you more conservative?
100%. Which I didn't think was possible. But 100%. Absolutely.
And do you
and
think,
a better wife.
Mm-hmm.
And a better wife.
Do you think that a lot of the fact that young women are liberals because they don't have kids usually, typically?
Young women are liberals because they don't have kids?
I'm asking, yeah.
No, I wouldn't say that, because I have some friends who are still not married and don't have kids, and they're conservative and they're finding it hard to find a mate.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're saying traditionally speaking, like, the women who don't have kids are more left-leaning because they choose not to have kids. That's a whole different topic.
Yeah.
Whole different topic.
They consider kids to being
a nuisance,
a burden,
a nuisance. But no, it's made, but also too, you have to understand, and that also goes back to, how'd you know it was time to get married? Understanding your biblical role as a wife and a mother, and knowing that you're ready to step into that motherhood, that being a wife, and that type of era of your life, if you will. So
I want to point out something right here. A lot of people, we do have to stop this, where we just watch something from a snippet and we determine this is the full. It's kind of like reading a verse out of the Bible and judging the Bible by a verse. And again, it could be a verse out of context. It could be a verse, a proverb, whatever. But we're reading it out of. We have to stop that, because watching this video, it becomes clear as the noonday sun that these two were in love with one another. And the idea, the notion of her being, quote unquote, some kind of spy, or Charlie never really being loved, is stupid on his face. The only way those ideas get pushed is that people aren't willing to even look at the source material. The only way that this works is because people are not willing to actually read the full chapter or read the full page. Just take one sentence and they say, oh, that's what the whole book is about. This is sad to watch, because you know how many people have made a judgment against Erika and they haven't even watched. They don't know what she's even about.
Here's a good one. What traits should conservative women be looking for in men, and vice versa?
Ooh. I know one of the questions deals with, I was going to go off one of the questions that talked about the apps, but I think women, for looking for their future spouse, needs to hone in on the fact, is he going to lead you closer to Christ or further away? Make sure you're equally yoked. That's so important. Make sure that you are not looking for a man who, or the men that are they're grabbing the low hanging fruit, meaning on the apps. Women get upset when they go on a date with a guy they found on an app and all of a sudden they ghost them, or all of a sudden they're just not communicating with them anymore. To me, it's because the guy didn't have to hunt for them. Not saying they have to hunt for a woman, but they do have to seek out a wife. And since they didn't have to, they made it so easy on an app to just press a button. It's just a number in their head. Like, you want to be so much more than, I'm not saying apps are bad. I mean, they're not the greatest thing. I've had friends who did find their significant other on an app, but the likelihood, it's like the lottery. The likelihood of you finding your future husband or wife on an app is a lot less likely to happen. So that to say, I'm so
What
blessed.
traits?
It's so hard because I literally won the jackpot with my
Oh,
husband.
Vice versa.
That's
Likewise.
really hard.
Hey, I want to add in here. You all, if you have children, you have seen this, especially if you are old school like myself. You like to write and you're familiar with using a pen and a piece of paper to communicate. Well, sure, young kids today can communicate more, they can share more ideas, but they don't have the ability to use a pen and piece of paper. And somebody said, well, it doesn't matter because they're only going to be typing or they're only going to be speaking. But there's other benefits that come from being able to use a pen and a piece of paper. There's some cognitive skills. There's some fine motor skills that come from being able to put that pen to that piece of paper and write. And good gracious alive, to read cursive and to write cursive is astronomically beneficial. So kind of like this, where if you don't have to work to find a spouse, if you can just find a relationship from your phone, there is a level of retardation that comes from that because you don't know how to talk to people. Most of you all, if you have a high schooler or a young adult or college student, like all they do is communicate by way of text or by way of a device. I'm like, go talk to the human. And my kids, even mine, say, I don't know how to do that. Wait. No, put the phone down and go talk to the person or pick the phone up and call them and say, hey, this is what we're doing. Don't text them. Don't text it more. So I do think there's a give and take. And like I said, there's a level of retardation that comes from all you do is use a device to communicate or to convey ideas or to find a spouse. It's gonna be different.
I will say women should look for men that have self-control, and men should look for women that are willing to submit, which is basically a non-feminist woman.
Right. But the whole topic of submission becomes, that word really lights people on fire.
It's biblical.
I know.
I mean, women
It's
should.
beautiful.
Wives.
Marriage in the right context is so beautiful because your husband will give up anything and everything for you in a healthy manner, but they will literally love you and honor you and cherish you above all, and put all the noise aside and focus on wife, children, family.
Daisy says there were quite a number of questions on submission. So dive more into that.
Okay. For me as a wife, my biblical role is to be the helpmate to my husband. That does not mean I'm less than you. That does not mean that I am above you. Thank goodness. I love that you lead our home. I love that you are you are so intentional with your faith, and you are so intentional with just how you are as a father and a husband. But as a wife, I am to, quote unquote, submit to you, which is a beautiful word, by the way, because that's the order of how it's supposed to go. And God will bless that. I am not to try and rival you. We're on the same team. We complement each other. The body, an eye is supposed to be an eye to see. It's not, you can't expect an ear to see. There's certain things within the body that operate how it's supposed to be, similar to marriage. I am the wife. I am in charge of certain things, guardian of the home, helping with the children, that is so I can make it easy for my husband to do what he needs to do. There's a balance there. It's not, and then you get into the people who are saying, well, my husband's abusive. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about the beautiful sacred marriage of when you are at the altar, you become one with your spouse. And the problem is that I feel as if some women, after they have children, they lose that fire that they got at the altar, that fiery spirit of, this is the man I've been praying for. And they get burned out because of the kids or because of circumstances. And then it's like, oh, submitting to my husband, that sounds exhausting. It's supposed to be liberating. It's supposed to be freeing. You are in charge of what you're in charge of. Your husband's in charge of what he's in charge of. And it's supposed to be a beautiful marriage of a teamwork, and symbolic within biblical marriage, and symbolic within how God and Jesus and everything, just your whole faith is supposed to operate. So submission's a beautiful,
it says submit thing. As Christ submitted that
No.
submit to your
No.
husbands as I have to look at the exact verse. but-
Well, husbands,
Husbands, love your
Yeah.
wives
Oh,
as Christ loved the
husbands submit
church.
to
Ephesians
Christ,
5.
Yeah. Wives, submit unto your husbands.
I mean, I've never found obviously any problem with it, but do you think that most women struggle with it? Here it is. Yes, submit to one another out of reverence for Christ.
Mhm.
This submits that both husband and wives are called to serve and prioritize each other's needs.
Mhm.
Do you think that most women struggle with it because of a kind of feminist mentality that has seeped in?
Yeah, because I feel as if Christianity in itself has become semi-feminized from the standpoint of, I know we've talked about this before, the Pinterest Christianity with the little flowers all over the beautiful scripted font and like making the Bible feminine. And it's not, it's a beautiful not even a story. I mean, it is a story, but it's a beautiful book on how to live your life. And it has nothing to do with being feminine or being masculine. It's all about Jesus. It's all about God. It always leads you back to God and always leads you back to how you're supposed to live your life biblically. But yeah, women, I think, are offended by that because they feel as if it makes them lesser than they are, which it makes them feel like they don't have the choice or the voice that they need to have in order to be quote unquote liberated. But that's the exact opposite. When you're in a biblical marriage, you are supported and you're loved and your viewpoint is just as important. But you have to let your husband lead.
Do you hear a lot of struggle with that topic of submission from women you talk to?
Yes and no. Yes, from the women who are not strong Christians, who are just more of in the world trying to figure out and navigate their marriage based on that standpoint. But I think it goes back to what you were saying. The men need to be prepared to take on that role. That's not a light role to carry,
No, I
being
agree
the
with that.
leader of the home. So I think what happens is men who aren't prepared for that season of life, they leave the metaphorical pants on the ground. And so the women come in and put those pants on because they feel like I have to be this role, I have to play this role, and I need to be the provider, or I need to, and also too, I think mom guilt falls into it too, of like, I'm not providing for my family. If they worked in the workforce prior and now they're a stay-at-home mom, which is a huge blessing to have that opportunity to raise your babies like that. I think that they feel as if they're comparing their season to other people's. And so that's where I think, you get the moms and wives that are not wanting to submit. But I think the husband needs to always be in a position of understanding his biblical role as well for that to all, mesh together. And even if the husband understands it and reminds his wife, or the wife reminds the husband, like, let's pray together. Let's recenter our relationship and marriage to make it healthy and Christ-centered. It's important.
You pick one.
Okay.
I could also talk about more of what women should be looking for or men should be looking for in women, but
You can.
We kind of talked about that though. Yeah.
I know. What traits are conservative? What should be
this is one from that someone just emailed us in, freedom@charliekirk.com.
Oh, really?
Erika, do you ever get hate from Charlie's work? How do you handle it? Charlie, do you ever feel guilt, or do you ever deal with guilt when Erika gets hate? No, I don't.
Honestly, this is so this is how I know God made us for each other, because anytime I do get quote unquote hate, it's the same stuff you get. Like I don't even want to say, it's not even worth saying it or repeating the things that were called or the names that were called. But yes, I do. I've lost family members. I've lost friends, but I actually am kind of grateful that that's happened, because God has pruned my life in a way where I am surrounded in a circle now by people who love us, support us, pray with us, encourage us.
Small, mighty circle.
And that's what I would much rather have, a small, mighty circle than a massive one. It's the people that, that you can trust and pour into. And yes, do I get hate? Bring it on.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll have a velvet steel spine by the end of my life. So bring it on. I have nothing to fear.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I mean, look, we get a lot of hate, we get a lot of death threats, but just part of life.
It
makes you stronger.
Right.
And honestly, if you are out there and you aren't getting a lot of hate, then
what are you doing?
Well, yeah, you're not doing anything that bothers Satan.
Exactly.
You're just being boring. You're probably honestly doing the bidding of the enemy.
Right. So. No, it's true.
Okay. Let's see. Emails freedom@charliekirk.com. Lots of questions coming in from you guys. You want to do the dating app thing? You have
I mean, I kind of touched on it. Yes and no. I used to have stronger ones, but I don't think as many people are on them anymore.
A difference than like dating apps and like dating services? Are those two different?
I hear dating services are awful. I hear that the ones that are out
Prager is
there,
very pro like dating apps and services. He always
I've
was.
never heard somebody.
His thought is more options the better.
Yeah, but how lazy does that make the man to be able to be? They're presented a binder of women, and they're like
a Mitt Romney binder full of women.
Boy, you so dumb.
Do you want a brunette? Okay, let's go down this manila folder.
Women are becoming notoriously pickier than men, though.
Right,
it's a big problem.
They have a CVS receipt length checklist of what they want.
There is a growing theme that if women are actually grading, they say they're unhappier with the dating pool right now than men.
I can believe that.
They say, and part of it, by the way, is incredibly superficial.
But are men unhappy with the dating pool of women?
No, not as unhappy as women.
I think women, you know what's interesting?
And some of it's superficial. They say the men aren't attractive. Blah, blah, blah,
I know, but I'm thinking about all of the way how we grew up, of how romanticized they made finding your future spouse. Like, you're going to be so in love. You're going to be swept up, and these flowers are going to be flying around you, and you're going to be so like butterflies in your stomach. And so I feel as if when people don't feel that immediately, they're like, oh, this person's not the right one. Or they're just, I don't know. I think they're caught up in what they're supposed to. That just,
is there like a Christian Tinder? Does that exist?
I don't think we want that, though. I think we should encourage young people in our churches. I think this is just my take on it, and this is not Charlie's nor Erika's clearly, but I believe if we who are in church try to help young people in church meet other people to build relationships with and get married, I think we would be doing our part. I don't know about the world. The world going to keep doing what the world going to be doing. But if we just encourage young people to meet, to connect, to make the leap into marriage and then build families, I think we would be doing the right thing. I don't think we need a Tinder. I don't think we need an app. I don't think we need a dating service. I just think older people need to help mentor young people in the idea of getting married, especially if you have a marriage that you want to see replicated in the world. Me and Lady Dear World Christian, we have a lot of married friends who used to be single friends because we really wanted people to be married. Because we're like, look, man, this is just great. This is just wonderful. You need to get married. Now, I have no idea what it would have been like if we had met in the world where, social media was much more prolific, like the young adults now. They're in a rough spot. They're in a rough spot. I ain't gonna lie. But I do think that we don't need a dating app. We need adults to come in and walk alongside these children and help them determine how this thing works. Because if you've been married for 10 minutes, it is kind of rough. It gets rough at times. So I think that's what the best we can do, the blessing we can add to society, is walking alongside these young people and saying, this is how it's done. And you're going to have some ups and downs. You got some ebbs and flows, some goods and some bads. But guess what? So what? That girl loves you. That man loves you. Okay, whatever. So what? I don't care. So what?
No, you have an ad for it.
Well, it's like a matchmaking service, I think.
I don't know if there's a Christian Tinder, but matchmaking services I heard are not the best.
No good?
Yeah.
Oh, it's called Christian Mingle. I don't think they're a sponsor of our thing, right?
No.
Isn't there like Farmers Connect too?
For farmers?
Yeah, no, I think there's like there's like Mormon Mingle too.
There's Mormon Mingle?
Yeah, no, there's definitely. Yeah, Dallin probably knows all about it. Not anymore. But,
I was going to say no.
Okay, that's it. That's what we need.
Terrell and the gang.
That's what we need. We need Amish Mingle because, Amish people don't use technology. So that's what we need. We need old school. That's what we need. We need the Amish Mingle. That's called go outside and talk to humans. That's what it is. Shout out to the Amish people.
Probably know all about it. No,
Mormon mingle?
I think there's Mormon mingle. Yeah. There's also, it's farmersonly.com. That's a thing.
So how do they check to make sure? I guess you have to submit that you have a farm.
You have to show a video of yourself throwing hay around.
Are you serious?
I don't know. It says single in the country ? Oh, there's no way this is ever abused.
I wonder if like a woman is like, you know what, I want that farm life. And so she gets some chickens in the backyard and then shows herself cultivating her mini.
No, I think there definitely is Mormon mingle. There's something of that.
That is crazy.
Variety.
Okay, but apps for dating service. You know what? Ask your local pastor.
I agree.
What you prioritize is what you get.
Right. So I'm looking for my future spouse.
If you prioritize trying to find a spouse, you're much higher likelihood to find one.
But as women, you need to take care of yourself in order to, you can't be looking like Adam Sandler and expect that you're going to.
And men, just figure out ways to make more money. I don't want to say it's not that hard, but if you work hard and apply yourself and obsess, you can make more money and you will be more attractive.
But like you say.
Okay, I disagree with Charlie on that one. I don't think it's money because I've never made a lot of money. I think being dogmatic about your focus and being a man that a woman can recognize and say, this dude is going to, I'll be honest with you. If Lady Dear Woke Christian wanted to come down here, she would tell you, she would tell you in a heartbeat, that dude would absolutely, positively give his life for me and our family. I want to be under his household because I know that guy wants the very best. He's going to help me be my very best. That's it. It was never about money. It was never about money. Well, I'm going to tell you right now, it better not be about money because look. But I don't think it's about that. I do think it's being dogmatic about your purpose, dogmatic about who Christ is, dogmatic about what the purpose of family is. And now I'm not saying be a slouch either. So don't hear what I didn't say. Didn't say don't go out there and try to be productive and go out there and try to make as much money. Do that. But I don't think that's the main purpose. Get out there and be dialed into who you are and who God made you to be. And then you tell that woman, like, my name is X and this is what I'm about. She's going to be, she lining up at the altar. She's like, let's go.
Stop spending money on alcohol. Stop playing video games.
Invest in yourself. Learn more. Be scrappy.
Right.
I don't want to say it's easy because it's not necessarily easy.
Right.
But it's easy to not be poor if you're a man. You have to make a decision, a conscious choice to not have a poverty mindset.
But what about school debt?
They should have gone to college.
Because college is a scam.
Yeah, I mean, look, men will find a greater pool of women if they increase their income.
Right.
Guys, let's talk about finding something real. You deserve a relationship with a woman who shares your values. Faith, family, patriotism. But apps, they're not built for that. That's where selective search comes in.
Favorite memory, pre-kids, post-kids?
Going to Israel, definitely.
That was amazing. Yeah. I loved that. Being able to walk. Because, before I met you, when I went previously was with my mom on a pilgrimage. And the whole time I was there, I was praying for my future husband. Didn't know it was you. And we were both in Israel at the same time. But anytime I could find a place to put a little piece of paper of a prayer in a hole in a wall, that was me. And that was me praying for you. And then I got to go back with you was surreal.
How about post kids? I'd say Maine was pretty great. Jackson Hole was great.
That one's tough post kids because every milestone with the kids is so special. Birthdays, seeing Gigi at dance class, just little things like that. She did the Trump dance, by the way. I don't even know if I told you that.
I saw
in
it.
Dance class yesterday.
We have lots of questions. Email us freedom@charliekirk.com. How would you tell young married couples who are going to start having families to prepare/ready their marriage for the changes that come with it?
That's a great question. Okay, first and foremost, always remember to put your spouse first.
Get premarital counseling.
Premarital counseling. Put your spouse first.
Save money.
Save money. instead of investing in a bunch of clothes that they'll grow out of really quickly, they should have a, you know how people do honeymoon funds?
Well, these are young married couples. Got it. Not single ones. Yeah.
Okay. No, that's good.
Yeah.
So
I know what
instead
you
of
meant.
doing, you know how they do the honeymoon fund, they should do a fund where it's overnight help if they don't
Yeah,
have a family member to help them.
I totally agree. I think that wedding directories, there's so much money wasted.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, I want a blender. I want a knife.
Right.
And my experience, most people don't even use all that stuff.
No.
It
We
should
use
just be,
every bit of ours.
give us money. Just give us money, and it will be honeymoon fund or
Right.
save money fund. We did a honeymoon fund, and it was great.
Yeah.
And
It was special.
it was totally special.
Because those memories are way more important than.
So how
the
would you tell young
George Foreman
married
grill.
couples who are
Hey, hold on now. No, hold on now, Erika. Now, y'all know I rock with Erika. I mess with Erika. But that George Foreman grill was from God. We still have, no, I'm sorry. We got a George Foreman grill when we got married. I had one when before we got married. We got a newer one when we got married. We burned it out because we used it so much. And we still have the replacement one. We've had the replacement one for better than 10, 15 years, maybe. Now, hold on now, Erika. Don't be talking smack about the Foreman grill, because look, I rides for George Foreman, okay? I used that thing last week, for crying out loud. I love our Foreman grill. I love that thing so much, I've actually replaced the plates on it and kept the grill. The grill is old, and it looks like it's old. I ride with George. Put George in the chat.
going to start having families to prepare, ready their marriage for the changes that come with it. Yeah, look, the man has to, I mean, I'll be very honest, the man has to start earning enough money where the wife or the mom does not have to work.
Mm-hmm.
And if the man
That's
is
fair.
incapable of doing that, well, then figure it out, become a man.
Right. More tangible side for a female perspective, make sure that you don't get so hyper fixated on the birth process once you're about to have a child. Like, don't be so fixated and obsessed with, I am going to have a child on my couch, in my living room, free birth, no drugs, and then leave no room for God's will if that totally does not happen. Because I know we had a birth plan, and the only thing that went to plan on that birth plan was that we had a child.
That's right.
Everything else
We had a great
went out the window.
We had a great OB. May he rest in peace. Terrible.
I'm gonna shout out. First of all, Mira, you're gonna have to go in timeout. You have to go in timeout. I said George Foreman grill, not Georgia Boy grill. Okay. I will say this. If you're talking to a young man today, he may have to, I don't think making enough money is going to change a feminist. He has to be such a man, so in his masculine ability and capacity, that a woman will literally cast off her feminism and say, oh my gosh, I cannot wait to be this man's husband, and want to cast aside all that feminist programming. She wants to hit Control or Delete on all that feminist programming that she's been infected with. So I don't think it's only, got to go make enough money. I do think you should go make money. Let me say that. But for I would tell a young man today, get so dialed in to being a man. Your hands are dirty most of the time. They know that, hey, this guy can change a tire. He can flip a grill. He can go out here and cut this grass. He can cut down a tree. Like, be a man to the point that people say, whoa, like even men look at you like you're a man's man. That's what I would tell a young man today. If I had a son today, if my daughter brings a young man over here saying, Dad, I like this boy, we're going to go in the backyard and start cutting some logs. I don't care. I want to know that you are a man, that my daughter does not have to stress in her mind that you're not going to be able to do what you need to do. And doing what you need to do does include making money, but even more than that, if somebody comes into your house to do you hurt and harm, I want to rest assured that my son-in-law is going to take care of that person and put that person in their eternal sleeping bag. That's what I want to know. So Sure, I don't care how much you make if somebody comes beating in the door and is attacking my daughter and my grandkids. I want to know that my son-in-law is prepared and able to defend and protect my daughter. That's what I want to know. And the rest, then however much you make, hey, son, like, come on over here. We'll figure it out together. Hey, look, your granddad, your father-in-law be trying to figure it out. I'm figuring it out too. But baby, let me tell you right now, if somebody comes knocking, if my daughter calls me on the side of the road and says, Dad, I'm stuck on the side of the road. My tire blew out and my husband don't know how to fix the tire. Baby, that's not the conversation I want to have. I want to hear a story later on, 2 days later, like, yo, Dad, I was on the side of the road and it was raining really hard and it was dark and it was deadly and dangerous. And I called my husband and he got me off the side of the road. He came and got me safe, got the kids home. He got the car, took care of the tire and everything was fine. Boy, let me tell you something. That son-in-law, that's the one I want. I don't care how much you make. I really don't. I want to know that you are ready to do what needs to happen as a man. That's what the woman wants. Let me just tell you that. Okay.
It's so sad.
So what young married couples, look, keep your faith obviously first and try to identify any fleshly problems that you might be having.
Mm-hmm.
So if the wife might have a gossip problem or a spending money problem, or the husband might have an alcohol problem or a pornography problem or a drug problem, don't welcome kids into the world. I shouldn't say you should always welcome kids in the world, but try to get those things settled before you entered kids into the world. So
I think before we go to that next question, I think it's because you mentioned gossip. I think it's really important that women do not gossip to their friends about their husband. Because first of all, friends can be very unforgiving when it comes to certain things with husband, but what you talk about with your spouse behind closed doors needs to stay there. Goes through one ear and literally ends at the other ear. And you do not share it. You do not repeat it. You have to continually invest in the confidence in one another that you're on the same team. You support each other. You love each other. You're not going to undercut each other. You are not going to sabotage one another unknowingly because you're trying to impress a friend that you have a husband that does XYZ. And wives, do not compare your husband to other women's husbands. Like, Hank does XYZ so well with a hammer. Well, my husband doesn't do that. Like, what your husband's good at, someone else's husband might not be good at. So just like, love your husband, love him so much that, and understand and hold in your heart that God has put you guys together for a reason to have a beautiful family, and children are a blessing from the Lord. And don't forget your husband in the process, and don't forget your husband in the chaos of having kids. Now we can go to the next question.
Okay, I'm gonna jump in real quick. Also, don't get caught up in comparing. Now, you might not compare with like your physical actual girlfriends or your physical actual homeboys, but don't get caught up in comparing in social media either. Nobody's life is perfect on social media. Okay? Them influencers driving Hondas just like you. Them influencers got to wash clothes and got dirty drawers just like you. So don't compare, even in that, like comparing even here on this YouTube streets and such like that in social media streets. Don't compare at all. Comparison is the enemy of contentment, and you'll never be content if you're comparing. And it might not be your actual physical friends around you, but actual people. I'm sorry, it might be just social media, zeros and ones that you're following, and you're comparing their life to yours, and that's caused you to be miserable.
I totally agree. What is the next? Daisy, I think, sent it.
What should be the order when it comes to God, kids, and marriage, and why? I just kind of
it's God first, then marriage, then kids.
Right.
Right.
It is. You get to choose the next one.
You can shut that down.
These are great questions.
The study shows that married women with kids are the happiest. Why do you think that is? I mean, it's just nature. I mean, just becoming a CEO of a shoe company is not going to give you happiness.
Women have it so mixed up. You can have You can have a career after children, but if you try to have a career while you have your kids, there is no such thing as balance. That is such a myth. Gigi gets those little Montessori toys every month, and there's this one that has the buckets that balance. If I put something in one of those buckets, it's going to drop down. And if I try to balance them, both buckets are filled, which is not realistic. I can't spend half of the day doing one thing. I missed out half of that time with being with the kids. So like you have to choose where your heart has to be fully with the home. You have to make that decision on your own, but you can always, after your kids are in school or after they're in high school, you can always go back to work. You can always find a way to get back into the workforce. But if you miss those precious first few years, that is so hard to make up because memories are so much more important than an added paycheck. It's
how God has wired us, and it's our nature, which is to have children, not just have a bigger bank account. Next question. What means the most to Charlie coming home from the battlefield? What means most to Erika when Charlie is at home? I'm not quite sure I understand the question.
Me too.
I understand the question.
I was like, I don't get that question. Okay. Erika got it. Shout out to Erika.
Charlie will text me and say, keep things boring.
Yes.
Because for the past several days, things were not boring.
Hospital visits.
So anyways, keep things boring so that he can be on the battlefield and not be mortified when he comes home.
I love coming home. It's the best thing, but I have to go out and fight.
I know. It's so cute. Gigi loves blueberries.
Okay,
and so every
time. They did those edits, by the way. That's not me. That's their edits.
He leaves. She's so sad. And he's like, honey, baby, I gotta go because I have to afford your blueberry budget.
She gets it.
She totally gets it. She understands it. Because then when we're FaceTiming Daddy, she'll look at Daddy and be like, Dad not working. I'm like, he is. And she's like, to afford blueberries. Yes.
There you go. So she's connecting that blueberries just don't come.
They're
not just from the heavens.
Manna from heaven.
They don't fall into the kitchen.
They don't just come ex nihilo.
No.
Ex nihilo.
They sure don't.
It's crazy.
Not at all. This is a good one. How much did you guys discuss religion, finances, politics, how to raise children before getting engaged? If I could just chime in on one of them. Men, you should be completely in charge of finances.
I totally agree.
And your wife should have nothing to do with it. They can have input, but you should release that burden from your wife and just take care of all the money.
I have to say, having to provide for just as myself as a woman, having to provide for yourself, especially because when I was living in New York City, it all fell on me. It's exhausting. I love the fact that I can relinquish that role to my husband because he's so good at it, but relinquish it to him and say, I trust you so much. I know you're going to help provide for our family. That is one less thing I have to not deal with. I've watched my mom have to deal with that while she had her own business, and she was my mom and dad in one package because my parents got divorced when I was really young. But to be able to relinquish that to you is so liberating. Yep. And I can focus on other things that are way more important because that's your domain and I don't have to worry about it.
And if you are marrying a man that is not capable of completely and totally handling the finances, then you should not marry that man. Finances will break a marriage quicker than anything else, period. But
what if he checks all of the boxes? He just is horrible at money. And you're really good at money.
Doesn't matter.
Okay.
Ooh, I don't know about that one, Charlie. I think that one would be but this is another example about why you should have a pastor and church leaders that are walking alongside you. Because I agree with Erika. Look, this guy might be dialed in on everything, especially in today's climate. You're not going to find some Prince Charming that has all of his stuff in order. I'm sorry. It's just not going to happen. There's going to be a lot of frog behavior going on around here. So I think you need somebody to walk alongside him because he might not know how to. I didn't know how to balance a checkbook when I first got married. I didn't know how to do that. And I know a lot of people who knew how to balance a checkbook before they got married. And guess what? I'm still married. We had 25 years. I got some cats who didn't make it 4 years. and they could do all those things. So I don't know about that one, Chuck. I think it's way more your ability. There's more to it. There's more nuance to it than just they check all the boxes. They got all this stuff, but they just don't handle money well, or they have a. Because I'm telling you right now, a good woman will help a man make more money. That's why the scriptures say it's better to live on a corner of a roof than with a nagging wife. But a woman that walks alongside her husband and helps her husband become great and get back out there and fight another day, honey, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Yeah, I don't think there's a problem with that. I don't think I don't see there's a problem with that at all. I don't see there's a problem at all. At all. Let's keep it dancing.
Okay.
Doesn't matter. I mean, then all of a sudden you're talking about a reverse. I think then you're talking about very confused gender rules. Then are you going to be a stay-at-home dad? Is that basically what that is?
Okay, but then what about the women that are the ones that write the checks and do the bills? And
good luck.
Yeah.
I mean, it can work. I'm sure it has. But I see those marriages careening for divorce quicker than anything else. Here's why. We as men are hardwired to produce for the family. We find meaning. We find purpose.
Mm-hmm.
Tucker would talk about this all the time. He would I'd have the worst day ever, but I'd know that today I'm paying for tuition. Like today, my kids' tuition are being paid for. I can't pay. And for men, we find great purpose in being able to come back home being like, we provided for all of this.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. I agree with that.
Like, this is my nest egg.
Yeah. And Daisy just said she has a stay-at-home friend who just went on a date and said the guy on the first date, he wants to be a stay-at-home dad in the future. Yeah, he's probably gay. Daisy agrees. She said, I think he might be gay. Yeah, I totally agree. But
just went on a date. Why would the guy say he wants to be a stay-at-home? I mean, but
what is that?
Can I just say?
It sounds like torture.
Hold on. I do not want to knock the stay-at-home dads. I do not. There are some who had to temporarily have to switch that role. That happened to my parents a long time ago. Granted, again, they got a divorce, so that probably falls into your bucket. But
I am an anthropologist.
But my dad was a stay-at-home dad for a few years. And I got to say, it was really sweet and really special. I was 4, but that was...
Of course, it's not an indictment of the morality.
No, but if you're saying from the get-go, I want to be a stay-at-home
it is a imbalance. Dad. It's an imbalance of nature. And some people are able to juggle imbalances of nature. But...
your husband has to be the one that goes out into the world and builds and battles and comes home, conquers, comes home. And it's like, this is my nest egg. This is what I worked so hard for. And the wife is like, welcome home, babe. Whatever you need.
Financial burdens should not be brought into the concern of the wife. It should.
Well, then it bleeds into the kids, and the kids are like, oh, I can't afford.
Where do you get that from, though? Okay, so my pushback to Charlie would be, where did you get that from? I understand this is what you believe, but where did you get it from? Like, can you show me book, chapter, and verse and context where you got that argument from? Because, Proverbs 31 woman, there's very little. Why would you want to not have, if God gave you your wife, God gave me Lady Dearwold Christian to complete me. So why would I not want her insight and wisdom to help me solve problems that directly affect her? I don't know. I don't know. That's one of those ones where I'm like, Charlie, I don't know if I rock with you on that one. Just like the Foreman Grill. I rock with the Foreman Grill. Like God gave me a brilliant wife. She's extremely intelligent, even though she picked me, right? So why would I not say, babe, I want your insight on this topic? Or like, how is that noble? Like, no, I need your insight. I need your wisdom. Again, I'll still sign the checks. I'll still, make the contracts to get the agreements, but I need your insight on this. What do you think about this? I don't know. What's the purpose of running around with half a brain? Like, that makes no sense. Okay.
Why am I being so firm on this? Because I know the number one reason why people cheat on their wives and why divorce happens is financial. It is number one.
No, it's because of sin. No, broke people cheat on their wives. I know a ton of broke people that don't got 2 pennies to rub together, but they be out there bumping uglies with people that are not their wives. It ain't got nothing to do with money. It has everything to do with the fact that they are sinners, Chuck. Sorry, Charlie. Don't let it be said, look, I'm a Charlie Kirk stan, right? But I'm a balanced stan. No, it's not that. The number one reason that people cheat on their spouses is because they're sinners and they don't fear God. That's the reason. It ain't got nothing to do with money. Good gracious alive. Like bro, all you gotta do is walk outside and see that is not the case. You got rich men cheating on their wives with doggone Hooters waitresses. Ain't got nothing to do with money. I'm sorry. Okay. I'm sorry, Chuck. Yeah, you fumbled the ball on that one, Chuck.
The number one thing, it collapses and breaks apart marriages more than anything else. And so if you have a husband that leads in it.
So wait. So if you live in the proverbial, if you are married and you live in a proverbial Section 8 or a trailer park, or you're in poor living conditions, you mean to tell me that those people don't cheat? Broke folk don't cheat? Man, come on, Chuck. You just made that up, Charlie. I'm sorry. God bless you, man. I love you, Charlie Kirk. I'm a Charlie Kirk stan, but you made that up. Nobody told you that. You came up with that off the machinations of your own mind. Sorry.
And it's not that, again, it comes easy to me, but guys, don't borrow money. You just start with that principle. You're not going to have any credit card debt. No, you can use credit cards, just pay them off every month.
No,
and you
see, that's borrowing money. You just literally look, I'm a former Dave Ramsey student. Don't borrow money, period. Don't borrow money at all. But see, he just said you can use credit card. You got paid off in a month. What happens if the month gets longer? If the month is shorter than your money, or longer than your money? Forgive me. See, Chuck, I love you, Chuck.
Debt that's acceptable as a mortgage payment. If you just start with that principle, you're going to be in a much better spot.
But how? What if the guy comes from nothing and doesn't know where to start?
Then he shouldn't be getting married.
Dang.
And then he's a boy. Boys should not get married.
Okay, Chuck.
I love you.
I love you too. But it's true. I mean, if you are not capable of providing for a wife or a family, then you should take some time before you get married. You got to figure yourself out. You got to get a skill. You got to get disciplined. You have to get.
There's a season for everything.
Yeah.
And I know that for some young girls out there, or even older women who are still looking for their human, a season of waiting is to encourage you to just continue to trust God's timing. And if you're in a season of pruning, that's probably because God's trying to refine you. And if you're in a season of fruitfulness, then enjoy that and embrace that.
I will add to that men have a much longer horizon of waiting than women.
Mm-hmm.
That's fair.
And what men need to get equipped for actually might not be as natural. Women can make very good mothers with almost no training. It's just at 23, 24, women can make good mothers.
I don't know about that. That's hit or miss, because some women they have to be equipped for it too, and their hearts prepared for it, or else they're going to stick their kid in front of cuckoo melon. What is it? Cocoa melon? What is it? Miss Rachel? Oh, her voice kills me. Those shows for hours. But they have to be prepared for it too. You have to, again, equally yoked, right? Equally yoked.
Next question. How would you wait well for a spouse?
First of all, this is more of a health standpoint. Get your blood work done every 6 months.
Don't have sex before you get married.
Don't have sex before you get married. Really be intentional about growing down before you grow up and out, meaning make sure that your heart is so rooted in Christ. Make sure that you're reading the Bible every single day. Make sure that you're in a position where you're living your life that he has to seek God in order to even be able to touch the slightest bit of your heart, and make sure that you are taking good care of yourself. Again, don't dress well. You're not going to attract someone if you're not looking your best. Not saying you have to look like you're on a red carpet every single day, but take care of yourself. If you can't afford to get your nails and hair done, that's fine. There's still ways to make yourself look you care about, I'm not saying from a prideful standpoint, but be grateful that God gave you the body he gave you. Be grateful that you're healthy. If you're not healthy, that you have doctors in your life to help get you there. Just constantly be grateful. There's always something to be grateful for, and just find a way to be able to get yourself in the proper mindset and headspace of knowing that you are so intentional about this time, and you're in a stream of significance rather than focusing on what everyone else has. And you are in a position where, when and if the man has sought you out, and he will tell you, I am intentional about this. I'm not trying to beat around the bush. I want to date you and I want to marry you. When it's that type of guy, you will know and you'll be ready. You won't say, oh, I don't know about this. Like, you will be prepared. Just take care of yourself. Take care of yourself.
I agree. I think we have one more.
My only pushback, and I've noticed this throughout the whole discussion here, and I'm really big on having people around you who are better at what it is that you're trying to do. So if you're trying to lose weight, you got people who are more active than you. If you're trying to become more financially solvent, you got people who handle money better than you. I don't hear them talk about having a community of people, married people around you. And I do think that's very, very important. So to the point that, because I translated the question Charlie asked differently, I think you need to have married people around you who've been married, 5, 10, 20, 50 years, that you can talk to on a regular basis, sit down and have wings with and talk with and help you out a lot. I do think that Erika was right on the money with what she was saying, by the way. I do think also, I just don't hear them talking about having a community around you that of people who are where you want to be. I don't want to be single, so I don't have a bunch of single friends. I don't want to be single. I don't have a bunch of single friends, and I don't have a bunch of divorcee friends around me, because that's not what I want to be. I want to be married forever to the same woman that my kids call mom. So I'm gonna be right there with people around me like that. So I do think that, I wish they had mentioned that, by the way, just like be in a church and be with people in your church that are going where you want to be. That would have been my only other, I guess, request or ask or whatever. Okay, keep it going.
Do you want to pick the last one?
No, I want you to.
What do you think about schooling for kids? What are you planning on doing?
We will be homeschooling, especially in the beginning. At first, I will be honest, I was horrified, thinking I am horrible at math and geometry, but I'm excited. To some extent, I'm excited. And this is why I think that women lose a portion of their brain capacity after every single kid. It's because then you get excited to homeschool your kids and you get to relearn everything all over again. And you're excited about learning about triangles and octagons and proper grammar all over again, because you have that brain space to do it. And you're excited. So we will be homeschooling. Plus, we want to travel with the kids. And plus, to be honest with you, I do not want to deal with kids going up to either of our children and being like, I hate you because of your father.
Eventually, once they get old enough, they'll get into school.
Right,
maybe
exactly.
6th, 7th, 8th grade, maybe. But
right, especially for sports too.
We also travel a lot. But I encourage everyone, if you can homeschool. And if you can't homeschool, I would love to know the reason why.
Or you can do pod schooling, where you have a teacher come to your friend's house and you all kind of
that's right
share a teacher.
I love you.
I love you too. That was really short and quick, but we have more questions to go over.
It was a full episode.
Wow. Time with you flies.
Email us freedom@charliekirk.com. Check out bibleand365.com.
Sweet. Yeah, read the Bible with us in a year.
Plug it.
This is our 9th year, I think. And so we read the Bible cover to cover. We do not miss a day. And it's a very special, unique community where you can get your Bible readings texted to you, emailed to you, or through the app. And we would love to be on that journey with you, to read the entire Bible with you, 365 days, words of encouragement, whatever you need, we're there. We're real humans, not bots. So yeah, bibleand365.com.
I love you.
I love you, baby.
God bless you guys. Talk to you soon.
Okay, shout out to Charlie and Erika. Now, the link to this video is down in the chat. Now, I will say this. I realize, because Charlie in the beginning says this is an hour-long interview, and it's only 37 minutes long. So they did a lot of editing and chopping up. So I didn't do any edits. I just played it and the reason I played it is because I wanted to. Well, first of all, shout out to Goose, who sent it to me and said, "Hey, have you seen this?" And I was like, I really haven't seen it. And I've seen clips of it. And I do want to do this as an experiment, a thought experiment to the audience, to the best live chat that's watching, 150 folk that are watching. Let's stop being comfortable just watching a clip of something. Like, let's stop that. Let's say, hey, you know what? I saw this clip. Can I go find the full video or the full interview, the full conversation? And let me just watch the full thing before I make an assessment. Because a lot of us have seen that clip where Erika in the beginning talks about how much she loves Charlie. And it's literally like 9 seconds. But people have framed it in a way that, oh, this is weird, this is strange, this is odd and off-putting. But when you watch it in its full context, it makes perfect sense. There's a lot of questions that answered about Charlie and Erika's relationship. And that was just one 37-minute video. Imagine if we watched an hour long. Imagine if we watched 2 of them. So I really hope that we can, let's stop making these assessments from just a snippet. Go watch the full thing. I do my best on this channel to watch full clips of videos and, longer portions, if you will, not just, a 10, 15 second, a 1 minute clip, and we make an assessment from there. And I really hope that we all can kind of make that our behavior. Like, let's just go watch the whole thing. Like, how many times have when we watch Charlie Kirk debate kids on college campuses, how much did we realize, like, oh, he really didn't say what I was told he said? And all we had to do is just watch it. So shout out for sure. Thank y'all, everybody. This was very impromptu. I had just got done riding my bike and I was watching this and I said, oh, I'm going to go ahead and do a video about this. So this was impromptu. It was not scheduled or anything like that. But I thank y'all for jumping in with me this morning. A very surprise live stream. What do we have here? It's always the ones that are rarely made it at giving you these success models. They never show you all the roles of talented and skill that don't have any success. I think I get what you're saying. Thank you so much, Nobert. And I think we would be much more successful. Like, just be around successful people, have them in your life, have them on your speed dial and so forth. And these are people that you can lean on and ask questions of and so on and so forth as it relates to marriage or finances or being a man or being a woman or being a good husband or wife. Have those kind of people around you, man. It's not just you doing you versus the world. It's you and your team versus the world. So, yeah, I think the chemistry was right on the money. Anyone that says she didn't really love him is on something. Really, they on something. They on some bath salts for sure. Shout out to bath salts. But y'all wilding out. Everybody, thank you so much. Have a beautiful, beautiful Saturday. Happy Mother's Day to all mothers, all those wonderful women that have helped raise children in the next generation. Happy Mother's Day to you tomorrow or wherever you are. We got people all around that check in. So it might be Mother's Day already. Shout out to you, to the future. But I really do appreciate y'all. Thank you so much for tapping in. This was, again, an impromptu live stream. I am going to go be a father and take Chief Executive second born driving. So we're going to go practice some driving this morning. Everybody have a great rest of the day. I'll see you soon. Grace and peace. Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of the Jay Witt Podcast. If you enjoyed today's show, please do me a favor and hit me up with that 3-piece special. Like the video, subscribe, and of course, share it with somebody who would also enjoy this type of content. And make sure you leave a comment because I do pin the best comments to the top. So thank you so much for tuning in today. And until next time, everybody, grace and peace.